Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's your brother Sega Man back with something different. This is something different that I want to do for a couple of the gaming brothers that always join me, on my podcast with my brothers. A lot of OGs come in here, and sometimes when we talk about reminiscing about the OG games and systems that we used to collect back in the days, right? We talk about the system that we play today, which is Xbox, the console that we prefer. But today, I'm trying something different. We're going to talk, and this is actually dedicated to a brother named Gaming Since 1980. If you hear me out there, bro, I hope you can join, man. And amongst other people, can come in and check out. We're going to be doing a live stream today of Sega CD, my Sega CD collection. And I'm also going to show you the game system Model 2 Sega Genesis with the Sega CD on it. Now, I do own the first Sega CD that kind of looks like a little CD player, VCR that you would hook the the first Sega Genesis up to, but I have that put away. This one I have where I can show it to everybody today. All right, so if this works out good, guys, I think with the retro systems that I have, I'm going to do this probably once a week on the systems that I own. I'm going to do a live stream on it. So a lot of the new cats that are out here that are, that grew up with Xbox and Nintendo and even Sony, some of them might not even know about these systems or the games that came with it. What's up, Brother Unlimited? How are you, brother? How you doing, man? Tool Man, what's up, man? How are you guys doing? Yes, I'm going to show my collection, Brother Unlimited. I got 37 complete Sega CD games in its box and in its entirety. And I'm going to show you the Model 2 system here. And I thank you, Unlimited, for coming, brother. He's one of my brothers out here that we podcast with. Much love and respect to my brother, Unlimited Productions, that also is younger than me, but he's a collector, and he collects, Xbox, and I believe Unlimited has some retro stuff too, but he's a collector, and we're collectors, and collectors, we click, you know what I mean? We love to collect physical media, even though we know that digital is going to be taking over. That's fine. I'm still a gamer, you know what I mean? But if I can collect physical media, I'm still going to do it. You know what I mean? I have to give props to everybody out there that's still collecting, because it's becoming very expensive out here today to collect for these retro systems. Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn is very expensive. Dreamcast is very expensive. Sega CD is kind of expensive, and there is some Genesis games out there that cost $400. You know what I mean? So some of that stuff is very expensive. Nintendo too. Nintendo stuff is very expensive. If you want to collect some of those retro games for Nintendo, and even some Sony stuff. Some of the Sony stuff is expensive, but I'm of the days of the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. So I want to show you guys, and we're going to get into right here in a minute, but I wanted to explain why I'm doing this live stream, because I want people to get knowledge about that don't really know too much about the old school and way of Sega. That's me. You know what I mean? The new Sega today, I don't know where they're really going. Hopefully it'll bring back some of this new old IP, bring it out of the grave, and give it a nice polish and make it 4K 60 frames to enjoy and make these games new again. That would make me very happy if Sega would just bring these great IP back that they're sitting on. They could make good money just bringing the stuff back, not always bringing Sonic back. I love Sonic. Don't get me wrong. I do. But everything you see is Sonic, 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 Yakuza, 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 Sonic, Sonic, Sonic. And that's fine. House of the Dead, great. Panzer Dragon, great. You need to capitalize on that and bring the rest of those games back instead of always Sonic all the time. You know what I mean? So it would be great to see something like that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go through the chat real quick, and I'm going to show my collection of Sega CD and the system. My brother Unlimited says Sega Man with the Sega collection. Yes. Tool Man, thank you for coming in and joining me, man. I really appreciate it. My brother Unlimited again. I'm good. Love these collection videos. Yes, brother. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to make it part of my channel. I'm going to do that. Every retro system that I have, man, I'm going to do a live stream on it at least maybe once a week. You know, add something new to the channel, you know, brothers Unlimited. So that's what I'm going to do. And we got my brother Peltrex. I believe Peltrex, happy Friday, y'all. Peltrex, I believe, is kind of a retro guy too, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? And then my brother Unlimited says, I used to have a huge collection of retro game consoles, including the Sega CD. It was really cool add-on, and at the time, games like Batman Forever, yes, and great games on Sega CD. See, Brother Unlimited he's very knowledgeable about that. He knows. I believe his dad used to, or his father used to play video games, if I'm right, Unlimited, and I think he had the Sega products in the house. So he's also going to know about this. You know what I mean? So, but I'm so glad you guys are here. It doesn't matter how many come in. I don't care about that. I like showing off my collection live. I used to make videos, but now I think from now on, I'm going to just show them live and get you guys' perspective about it. And yes, we're going to be here for a little bit, not a long time, but when I show you games and stuff, guys, just give me your opinions about it and stuff like that. So let's get on, you know, with the live stream, guys. So first thing I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to show you my Sega Model 2 connected with the Sega CD Model 2 that also has, because I left it on and I put it away. I didn't take it out of the box. I have the original box for it, but I left it on top of there too. But this is actually 3 systems combined in one. And what that is as you can see, this is the model. This is the back of the Model 2 Sega CD. All right. And when you see over here, this is the Sega Model 2 system right here. And then on top of here, what is this, guys? Do you know what this is? It's the 32X. The 32X is right here. That connects into the Sega Genesis Model 2 right here, you know. And then you have the Sega CD down here that has its own connection. So let's turn it around. It's a little bit of a dust on it, but let's turn this bad boy around, and that's what it looks like with everything on it and complete. You know, you have the Sega CD, which is right here. You see it has a little button, looks like a little CD player. And that's where you put the games in. You can play your compact, you know, you can actually play your music in there, which is also cool. And then you have the Model 2 Sega Genesis right here. And then you have the 32X on the top. So that's what it used to look back in the day, guys, when we used to rock out the OG systems, man. You know, now I prefer the first Sega CD that hooks up to the old Genesis because I like the way it looks. It had the lights on the front. It was cool. Green and red lights, kind of, like I said, kind of look like a CD player. You know, like a CD player that you would hook up to your stereo, you know, back in the day. But yes, guys, was in great condition. And I actually acquired this Model 2 Sega CD at Half Price Books. At the time, it was $100. So what I did is I traded in a whole bunch of stuff there, and I only had to pay $40. So this is actually worth a lot more today. You know what I mean? So now I have both models, where I have Model 1 and I have the Model 2. And this actually comes off, and I'll show you that real quick. It actually slides off of here. So what you do is the Model 2 is actually hooked on here, and you can, it's on pretty good. And what you do is, I'll show you guys, you can slide it off. So here's the Model 2, right? Without the Sega CD foundation right here. And then, like I said, it hooks into the Sega CD from there. And it's this big thing. It's a little bit weird looking, kind of. But you can actually, I believe you can hook, I can't remember if you can hook the Model 1 up to it, but that's what it looks like without it. This is what it looks like in its entirety, you know, without the Model 2, you know, being hooked up onto the Sega CD. That's what it looks like, you know. So, yeah. But that is it. And it looks, I like it, guys, because it looks kind of cool. You know, it kind of looks like really cool like that. You know, Sega was like really thinking ahead of their time, you know, with this stuff. And yes, some people say, oh, it's big and clunky and there's so much stuff hooked up to it. And, oh, man, it just, Man, this is retro gaming right here, man. This is retro gaming right here. All this stuff combined together would be well over way over 100. This is like probably $500 right here, at least 400. You know what I mean? With the 32X, the Model 2, and the Sega CD Model 2, this is around that price, I would say, or even more. I could be wrong on that. It could be more, a lot more. I don't know, but I have all the wires and all the stuff, downstairs and everything. But I didn't want to bring all that up. I just wanted to show you guys. That's what it looks like. It's pretty big, huh? Kind of looks like a reminds me of in retrospect, Omega Supreme from the Transformers. When he would turn to that big city, and then he would transform into this huge Omega robot. So a little bit reminds me of something like that. Like if this thing could transform, it would be pretty cool. Like a Omega Sega Transformer or something like that. That would be cool, wouldn't it, guys? I'm just using my imagination. But yeah, that's what it looks like, man. And it's really worth preserving. I talked to my son a couple times about it and how he felt about it, because my son is very advanced. He's very advanced. You know what I mean? He built his own computer at a young age, and my son is young, and he's very advanced. So he's more into like his VR and his computer and his Xbox. You know what I mean? And I asked him about what he thought about the retro gaming, and he kind of thought it was cool, but I don't think he's really digging it that much. But I'm preserving this to give, if I can, to give to my son and my daughter. And then if something ever happens to your boy Sega, man, then they can do whatever they want with it. Either preserve it and keep it, or do whatever they want with it, because they know their dad was a collector of vintage video games, and they can reminisce and talk about that. You know what I mean? So, or do whatever. I'm pretty sure my kids could find something to do with what I have. You know what I mean? Because I basically leave it for them. And then my brother Unlimited said, bring back memories of all those add ones with the Genesis. Yes, and I have a lot. I have a lot of different things, Unlimited, that I'm going to show, man. There's so much stuff that I would have to dig into and show, but I'm going to do that, brother Unlimited, probably at a later date, and Toolman says, hey, Sega, man, what's up, brother? How are you, man? And Unlimited says, I remember, if I remember correctly, the Model 1 did fit, but it was it was a weird fit. It did fit, Unlimited, but it was like a weird fit on there. But the Sega Genesis Model 1 is the best looking Genesis ever made. That bad boy looks so sweet, man. It had a volume on it where you can plug in your headphones. You can actually plug your Xbox headset into there. If you have one that's wired, you can plug it into that bad boy, right? And experience good sound of Streets of Rage 2. Can you imagine listening to Streets of Rage 2 through your Sega Genesis, man, on a Model 1 on those nice-ass Xbox headphones, bro? That would be amazing to do. That would be awesome to do, man. And then Toolman says here, hey, Unlimited, and we got Smitty Smith. What's up, Smitty Smith in the house? Smitty Smith's been rocking out with me since day one. Hey, man, I am showing some retro stuff today, man. Sit back, have a digital drink, Smitty Smith, and enjoy, brother. Man, I just showed you just came in, but I'll show you real quick. I just showed the Model 2 and Model 2 Sega CD and 32X together, man. Just showed the brothers that I'm getting ready to show the games right now. I have over 37 complete Sega CD games, guys. I don't want to be too long, but if you love retro collecting, you'll stay and watch the live stream and see what I have, man, in my collection. But that's what I've been showing my brother Smitty Smith. That's what I've been showing, man. Now, these games are not in alphabetical order, guys. Let's just get on with it, man. Let me put this down because I have a lot of games to actually show. Like I said, I have 37. Let me put it up here. Make sure it don't fall or anything. Put that bad boy up there. So we're going to go through the games right now, guys. We're going to go through the games right now. I'm just giving everybody a shout out. There's Toolman saying what's up. We got Smitty Smith in the house shouting people out, man. You know, it's really great to see you guys here, man. I really appreciate your, your support, man, of this. I really do. So it's probably going to be every other week or maybe once a week, like Unlimited said. I'm showing you this week, next week, depending on the holiday. If it's a holiday, I'm not going to show it that week. It might be a week after. I'm going to show you all my retro systems live streamed. Every last one I own, and we're going to talk about it for a little while, man. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about it and reminisce about the OG days of gaming. So, first up, man, for Sega CD, this has the case. Now, the case it's a little cracked. It's cracked on both sides, but it is Chuck Rock. Chuck Rock on the Sega CD. It doesn't have the back. It doesn't have the back description of the game. I found this game, and I'm going to go quick because I don't want to be harping on one game too long. I found this game at a flea market. This kid was selling games, and this was the only Sega CD game there. And I asked him how much he wanted for it, and he told me he only wanted $3 for it. Now, this was a long time ago. Even though it was broken, all that, I didn't care. As long as the disc was in good condition, I got it. If you look at the artwork on it, they did great artwork back then on the Sega CD for their games. The things that were infamous about these jewel casings is they would break, and as I'm going to show you, look at that. They would just break off. Later on, they implemented into cardboard, which was they should have did in the first place, or they should have made the Sega CD games all in the little CD jewel cases. It was a bad mistake to do this with Sega CD games, and PlayStation 1 also did the same thing for a while, and they ended up breaking too, and so did Sega Saturn. I don't know why these guys did that. Made these big, huge cases where if you drop it even on a rug and it drops right, it'll snap these off. You know what I mean? So, and that's the CD right there. And and guess what, guys? Guess what? This Chub Rock game, guess who it's made by, guys? Do you want to take a guess who this is made by? It's Sony. I think it's ImageSoft. If you look closely, Sony had something to do with that, right? You see that? Sony had something to do with that. And like I said, the disc is in flawless condition. So that is Chuck Rock. This game was actually pretty good on a Sega CD. Thing about Sega CD games is they had really good sound effects, better sound than if you would play it on a compact cartridge. It had better music, better sound effects because it was on CD. But that is Chuck Rock, guys. The next one we have, remember, these are not in order. This is complete, perfect condition, man. This is called Battle Corps. Has anybody ever played Battle Corps? This is Battle Corps, guys, on Sega CD. Nice, great, artwork. It's in very good condition. I can't remember if I got this at the exchange or a flea market, but I didn't pay much for this at all. I think it was $5. You got to remember, guys, I've had these games for years. I've had these games. You know what I mean? And I paid about $5. There goes Hebot. He's up there messaging me. I'll have to talk to my brother Hebot in a little bit, but this is called Battle Corps. Now, this thing is complete. As you see, it's not broken. It has that the regular vintage. You looking Sega CD label right there on the CD. You know what I mean? So this game is it's pretty cool. Kind of reminds you of a it's like kind of like a mech game. So if you look at the back of it, you probably can't see real good with my lighting. I'm trying to make my lighting right, but it kind of reminds you of a mech game. Now, mind you, I never finished a whole bunch of my Sega CD games. Or to go to other stuff. Like it says here, it was distributed exclusively in North America by Time Warner Interactive. So Time Warner Interactive had something to do with this game. And it says here, Game Fan, February of 1994. So this is really, really old game here for the Sega CD called Battle Corps. If you guys have any information or you have played this, let me know in the comment section below, guys. Now, the next one here was like $1.50. $1.50. If you look at the tag on the front, guys, it's going to take you back. It says Electronics Boutique. And at the time, it was $10 there. But I got it for a dollar. I think it was a dollar something. I can't remember, man. And the exchange, I think it was the exchange, but this was a long time ago. It's a golf game called Links, the Challenge of Golf. So if you look right there, I got to get the camera right. You'll see where it says Electronics Boutique for $9.99. So you know this is old, right? So it's a golf game, and I did try it out. It's okay. It's an okay golf game for the Sega CD. It's not that bad. It really isn't. But it is complete in there, and even no, it's not. No, it's not. One part of the thing is broke right here, okay? But it did come with the original sponge in there to keep the game in there. But that's it right there, guys. Ain't too much to see inside of there. By Virgin Games, I believe, had something to do with this. So, like I said, guys, it's really hard to, like, I bought this broken, you know, so it's hard. You can actually buy these plastic cases, right? They're plastic shells, and you can buy them on Amazon, and you can put them in there, but those become expensive too, because if you have like 40 games or something, let's say those things are, I don't know, $5 a piece, or it adds up. So if you can and you have these, try to keep them up, try to keep them in good condition. But yeah, that is Links, the Challenge of Golf for Sega CD, man. All right, this is one you guys are going to remember, man. Back in the day, it was a great game that a lot of people played back in the day on their Sega Genesis, and it made its debut on a Sega CD, which was awesome, with awesome graphics and color and music and sound. And that is a complete version of Echo the Dolphin. Do you guys remember Echo the Dolphin? Echo the Dolphin was a great game on the Sega Genesis, man. A beautiful masterpiece for a 16-bit. And this is Echo the Dolphin on the Sega CD. And this one is not broken. Everything is in perfect condition when it comes to the jewel case. If you look at the art on there, they always did a great job with advertising the artwork of their games and made them very attractive. You know what I mean? This is when they took time and effort to make, artwork good on video games back in these days, you know? And like I said, it is from Sega CD. This game is from 1993, guys. This is a really older game, you know, but Echo the Dolphin was a great game. It was a great game. And as you can see, it's a little dusty, man, because it's been in the archives, man. But as you can see, man, it's fine. But like I said, these things, man, broke so easy. This is coming soon, Jurassic Park inside there. But that is Echo the Dolphin, guys. That's gone back down memory lane. Like I said, it had great cue sound. It had great sound effects, great graphics, beautiful color. That is Echo the Dolphin, guys. What do we got next here? Let's show you this one. This one's busted up, but it's actually expensive now. It only came with part of the case. So I'll show you the back. This is called Lethal Enforcer, Gunfighters. That was actually a pretty cool, like animated, like picture, like motion where they come on and they say, and the guy says, "You're not gonna get me, Sheriff." You know what I mean? And you're shooting the saloon and shooting the bad dudes. If you can see it, you might not see it as well. But they were digitized people, like characters that were in the game. You know what I mean? Which is really cool. And this is, Lethal Enforcer Gunfighters. But as you see on the front, this also I got at the flea market. I think it was like $1. The dude just said, "Man, just take it, man." He just said, "Just take it. Will you give me $1?" I'm like, "Yeah, shit. I'll give you $1 for it. I don't care." He said, "It doesn't have no cover. It doesn't have no description on the front. It doesn't have." I said, "I'll give you $1. As long as the disc is in good condition, I'll take it." And as you can see, it is. It's in very good condition. But like I said, it doesn't have a front. So actually, in reality, it's not complete. But I only paid $1 for it, guys. You know, but yeah, it's a great game for Sega CD. It's an awesome game, man. I used to play this a lot, man. These are fun games that they made back then. A lot of people didn't like the digitized like games. A lot of people didn't like those because they didn't look really good on your CRT TV. They didn't, or on your boob tube. They didn't look as good because they were grainy. But some of them actually came out pretty good. The ones that do that better than Sega CD, to be honest with you, was the 3DO. The 3DO did that better when it came to games like that. They really did. It looked a lot better. But Sega CD was the first ones to come out with that. You know, it started with Sega and it ended with 3DO. You know what I mean? Some of those games also came out on the Sega Saturn, I believe, but it started on Sega CD. You know, if I'm correct, I believe it was Sega CD that started out on. So the next one we got here, guys, is this one is called Stellar Fire. If I said that right, by is it by Crystal Dynamics? It might be Dynamics. It just says Dynamics. But this is like kind of like a this is kind of like a virtual type like shooting flying game. This is actually pretty cool. If you look at the artwork on there, it's pretty cool. It's a nonstop like 3D dimension with 3D dimension realms. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. Like I only played it for a little while. You know what I mean? The music's good on there. You know what I mean? It's a pretty decent game. I didn't get too much into, but it's ultra realistic 3D, you know, and different things in there like that. It gives you more description on the back of it, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think it just says Dynamics or something like that. Part of the Sierra family. So this might be off of another company, and this is from 1993, guys. But that's it right there. You know what I mean? Has the booklet inside. You know, let's look at the booklet real quick. This is, you know, the booklet was really cool. Like it gave you remember when they used to give you description of the game, different things like that. You know what I mean? In the back, it was really cool because they don't do nothing like this at all. Would have where you can actually send in your name and all that. And I believe you can actually rate and or register this, if I'm right. But that's what the information would come inside and would look like, guys. That's what it would look like inside. This is that card you can actually send back to them and give them info on what you thought about their game and different things like that. You know, so it's good to have that all intact. Sometimes when you get these games, that's not in there. They rip it out, and it you know, it's not really it's a complete game. But if it's ripped out or the pages are ripped, it's not a complete, perfect, you know, game that you own. You know what I mean? But if you can get them like that, great. If not, still get them because it's part of retro collecting. So that's another one right there that I played a little bit. Kind of reminds you kind of like of a Star Fox a little bit. Look at the back of it. It kind of reminds you a little bit of like a Star Fox almost. If you look at the 3D realms and different things like that. But to me, it was very inventive, and I like the artwork that they did on the front of this Stellar Fire, you know? So let's keep going, guys, because I don't want to go super, super duper long. Now, this game here, guys, is I tried to play this game. I picked it up because it was cheap. I think it was $2 or $3 at my exchange back in the day. And have you guys ever heard of this? It's by Electronic Arts. It's called Power Monger. Power Monger. I tried to play this and I couldn't get the gist of the game. You know, I think it's like a strategy game, I guess, or something like that. But it's called Power Monger. And if you look at it, it's a pretty good artwork on the front. But that's called Power Monger, and it's by Electronic Arts. It says here, you know, and yeah, I couldn't get too much into this, guys, but I picked it up because it was cheap. And it was a Sega CD game. Anything I can add to my collection, I do. Even if it's sports, I don't care. I'm still going to add it. But yeah, it's in perfect condition. It was pre-owned. You know what I mean? It has the little sponge and everything in there. And even the disc has a little bit of a graphical, you know, indentation of the game and different things like that. But it says Video Game Exchange on the CD because they used to put that on there after they would get these in. So it is definitely from there, and I was right about that. But like I said, it's intact and pretty good condition there. And then as you see on the side in there, they were advertising EA Sports. So that's another. Nah, man, it's starting to get filled up here on this table here a little bit. Another game I got here was for a whopping $1. $1, guys. Now, some of your guys are going to remember this game because this was a good game on the Sega Genesis. One side of the case is broken. You know, but it is a good legend, I would say, in football. It is Joe Montana's NFL football. Joe Montana's NFL football, guys, on Sega CD. And like I said, it was at the exchange, it was a whopping $1. If you can see that, it was $1. For some reason, I left the sticker on, but it was $1. And it's broken, you know. But if you can just try to keep it on, and maybe sometime later find another case, it's good to keep it like that until you can find like another. If you find like another case that might not be broken like that, you know what I mean, and you can fix it. But yeah, that is Joe Montana's Sega Sports on Sega CD, man. The football game. I remember trying out a little bit, and if you look at it, it had him on the back there where he would, I guess, do a little bit of commentary or say something, you know, in the game, if I remember correctly. But yeah, man, it's Joe Montana, man. It says it even has on the back here, Unlimited. It even has on the back here, man. It says a Dallas Cowboy, man. Right, little helmet, and going against the Buffalo Bills. But yeah, but that is Joe Montana, man, on Sega CD. Sega CD. Let's see what else we got here. Great game that actually I believe is coming back. This was a great game on Sega CD. Yes, it is broken. I don't care, but I had to have it. I only paid about $2 for it. And they remade this game. I think you can actually pre-order this game now. It's part 2. And I believe it started out, if I'm correct, I might be wrong, it started out on Sega Genesis or Sega CD. This is the first, in my opinion, if it started out on here, the first Flashback, the Quest for Identity. So that is Flashback. And now that's actually coming out, I believe, or you can pre-order it on your Xbox Series S or X. I think part 2 of that. But this is where it all started, guys. This is the original Flashback. It's busted up pretty bad, but the disc is in good condition. And it says here, all new cinematic sequences for enhanced game play. And up on top, it says Sega Gold USA. And then it says Dolphin software. So yeah, they really wanted something to happen with this game, but like you said, it's broken here, you know. But yeah, I got it for a few dollars, and that's what it looks like. There's not much to see with that, but it's Flashback, and that's another one I own for the Sega CD. You can still get some money for these. You're not going to get as much, but they can, if they want to, they can redo these games and sell it a little higher, and you'll get some money out of it. But that is Flashback, guys, for the Sega CD. It's just a shame that they made those like that. The thing that was infamous for these is that if they weren't broke here, they were cracked in the front because people didn't take care of their games. They cracked them. They stepped on them. They sat on them, you know. But this is another good game that a lot of people love, guys, playing back in the day. This is, and I'm going to catch up with the chat here in a minute. I see you guys. This is the Sega True Video production. It's Top Cat Alley. This was a big game back in my day. A lot of dudes used to play this game. Full screen interactive movie jet fighter combat. So yeah, this was really big back in the day, man. That is Tomcat Alley. That was big back in the day. You know what I mean? It was huge. I had a lot of friends that used to love playing these airplane games. You know, they thought they were Tom Cruise, you know, back in the day, you know, with the big macho glasses and stuff like that. But that's the back of it there. You know, like I said, again, it's a stop motion animation games, you know. But that is Tomcat Alley, and this was big back then, man. I'm just surprised that it lasted through whoever had it, because if you look at the front of it, they must have sat on it, cracked it, or whatever. But this is the inside here, right? And it came with the little sponge. The little sponge was to keep it, I guess, from being damaged. But a lot of people used to love playing this game along with Afterburner. So that's another one right there. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're getting there. The next one here is another one I found for about $4. It's cracked. It's by Electronic Arts. Electronic Arts seemed to have brought a lot of these games out for the Sega CD. This is the 3D Space Combat Simulator. Now, I played this a little bit. But what's weird about this game is that if this is the right game, the guy that played Gilligan on Gilligan's Island is in this game. I believe he's in this game. The guy that played on Gilligan's Island, that played Gilligan, is in this game. And I only paid a few dollars for it. It says a Chris Roberts game, but that is it here. That is Wing Commander, the 3D space combat simulator. So that was only a few dollars. Some of these games I've looked up and they have went up in price, but they're not like real huge in price, you know. But like I said, it's busted also, you know what I mean. But it has a little sponge in there, but it, you know, and it has a really thick book. The book in here is thick. Let's take that book out for a minute. The book in here is thick. It's pretty thick. Look at that. Pretty thick. So it explains a lot of stuff that you have to do in the game. They don't make stuff like this anymore, guys. They just don't. You know, it costs too much to do stuff like that anymore. But man, it brings back memories to go back and even go through some of this stuff and check it out. You know, when you're collecting retro, man, a lot of people, that's what they do. They'll get this stuff, and if they have all this stuff with it, they just go back in there, check it out, make sure everything is cool on there, everything, which is awesome. So, all right, man, all right. That is Wing Commander. Now the next one we got here is, wow, we got a little bit to go, guys. So bear with me. Hope I don't drop none of these. Let me take a couple of these out. Let me see what we got here. That's right. They're in a box, man. They're in a nice big box. You know what I mean? So first one we got here is By True Video, again by Sega Productions. A great game that's in flawless condition, which is a pretty awesome. This is actually a pretty cool game. And guess who's in this game? The great Michael Buffer. And that is the game called Prize Fighter. In perfect condition. Prize Fighter for the Sega CD. On the back, it wasn't black and white, but you see Michael Buffer right there announcing. And you're the fighter over there. You know what I mean? This is another game that a lot of people used to talk about and used to kind of like, you know. It says you trade punches with live fighters, the first all-video boxing game. And this was made by Digital Pictures. Digital Pictures were known for making the infamous Night Trap that I used to play on the Sega Genesis. But yeah, man, and actually it came with, was it 2 discs? It actually came with 2 discs. It actually came with 2 discs inside there and the booklet, you know, so it had 2 discs. You know what I mean? But you have to watch the way you close these things because you could probably break that also. And yeah, that is, Prize Fighter, guys, for the Sega CD. Great game here that did a fantastic job on the Sega CD. In my opinion, it was better on the Sega CD than the Super NES. Do you guys know what game I'm talking about? It was a big game on the Super NES. But when it came out for the Sega CD, it destroyed it because it was just arcade perfect. That game would be Final Fight. Final Fight on Sega CD was the best version, in my opinion. Great music by Capcom, great sound effects, just like the arcade. Had all 3 characters in there. Hagar, what's the guy's name? Ryu? Is it Ryu or Ryu? And the other dude. You know what I mean? But yeah, this was great. This is a great game. This guy, he actually wanted my damaged box, like my damaged box copy, and he sent me this. You know, the one in the case like this, which is pretty cool. You know, but it has a description of the backer of the game and different things like that. But yeah, that's Final Fight, man. Final Fight for Sega CD, in my opinion, was the best version of Final Fight, guys. So what else do we got here? Let me see. Another one here by True Video Productions. Like I said, they had a lot of these games. This is Surgical Strike. Surgical Strike. It says free 32-bit CD offer inside. So they were promoting also when they were bringing these games out, promoting heavily. The game in here, Fahrenheit, is in here, which was very expensive. I don't own that, but it came with, you know, the sponge and everything in there. And the front of it, the artwork is not bad. You know what I mean? But that is it's a pretty decent game. And there's actors in here They're not really well known. But these games, man, there's a cult following with these games. A lot of people they couldn't stand these type of games. I liked them. I thought they were cheesy and fun. They were cheesy video. I thought they were fun. But that's the back of it right there. So that is another one for the Sega CD. This game is made by JVC. Thunderstrike. Has a nice little artwork on the front there. It's a helicopter game. You know what I mean? But this is another one made by, believe it or not, JVC. JVC had dipped their hands a little bit into the gaming genre. And it's really cool. Decent graphics on the back. Not too much to see, but it was a helicopter game. And yes, it is broken. But it does play well, and it is pretty cracked, but it does play well, man. You know, like I said, you can invest in getting these fixed. If you really want to get them fixed, but you're going to pay a lot of money to do that. I'm telling you right now. You know what I mean? If I find them out in the wild, like an old PlayStation sports game that has a case like that, shit, I just throw the other shit away, you know, or put it aside and put it in like a little hand-me-down little thing I have where I can hold CDs, and I'll use it for one of my Sega CD games if I find that out in the wild. Okay, let's keep going, guys. We're almost done, actually. Great game that's on every compilation for Sega. But if you own it on the Sega CD, it's worth a good bit of money because it started here. That is the great Sonic CD, guys. Sonic CD on Sega CD was back in the day when you first got this game, it blew every Sonic game away. The beautiful colors, the 3D backgrounds with the the secret levels. Very cool, awesome artwork on there with him and Robot Sonic. This is a great, fantastic game. The sound in here was unbelievable. If you had this hooked through a receiver, which I did back in the day, going through my speakers, the music, the sound, and everything was fantastic, crystal clear in Sonic CD on a Sega CD. Another sought-after game to collect for your Sega CD, and it's not going to come at a cheap price. I don't think so. I really don't. And it advertises Echo the Dolphin in there. What do you know? So yeah, Sega CD, guys, is a great game to own for your Sega CD. Now, for you wrestling buffs out there, your brother Sega Man got a good wrestling game. A good wrestling game for Sega CD. Can you guess what one that is, guys? It's a great game on there, man. It's a great game on there. It has all the greats on the front. Let's just name a few of them before I show you. We got Macho Man Randy Savage. We got Kamala. We got Razor Ramon. We got The Undertaker. We got Bam Bam Bigelow, just to name a few. Who else we got? The Nasty Boys on here. That's right, guys. That's right. It's WWF's Rage in the Cage. Rage in the Cage for Sega CD was a pretty awesome game. It had a slew of all kind of wrestlers that were in the game. It is in flawless condition. The graphics at the time were pretty awesome. They had stop motion little parts in little scenes that's inside here, which is really cool that they implemented into the game. But this is Rage in the Cage by Arena. Arena used to also help make the old Mortal Kombat games on Sega Genesis. But this is, yeah, Rage in the Cage, man. Look at all the greats on there. Some of them are not with us no more. There's actually a lot of them that are not with us no more that are on the front of this. But, man, these were the great wrestlers back there. You know what I mean? Ted DiBiase is on here, the $1 Million Man, Iron R. Shyster. You know what I mean? Just a lot of greats on here, man. That is Rage in the Cage for your Sega CD. In good condition with the little fuzzy thing. And it was advertising, that's right, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, guys. This is a great wrestling game to have on Sega CD. I had a lot of fun with this wrestling game. This is something my brother Ewok would probably definitely enjoy walking down memory lane playing this on Sega CD because he's a big wrestling buff. I think he would really enjoy Rage in the Cage on Sega CD. All right, we got another great fighting game. I played hours and hours and hours and hours with. My girlfriend at the time even got mad at me because I played this game so much and I almost was in trouble, but I knew when to quit playing the game. You know what I mean? So this is Eternal Champions. This is Eternal Champions. Challenge from the Dark Side. This is really, really good. Very good. It's a little bit up in price right now. It's made by Deepwater. Q Sound with it. This is awesome, man. They added all different type of characters along with the old characters from the first one. This is the best Eternal Champions. Believe it or not, it is the best, man. The Sega CD knocked it out of the park with Eternal Champions. Challenge from the Dark Side. They never made another one. Sega, if you hear me out there, there's a lot of brothers in here that like fighting games that are on this channel. It would be good to bring this game back. Phil, if you hear me out there, Sega, if you hear me out there, bring games like Eternal Champions back. We need this game back. This was an awesome fighting game, 2D fighting game to play with your friends and family, man. It was gory. It actually, some of the fatalities in this was better than Mortal Kombat's. Believe it, Mortal Kombat's fatalities. They were. Some of them were even more grotesque and crazy, man. They really used their imagination in this game when it came to the fatalities. If you got in a certain part of the board and somebody punched you into a certain part of the board, a dinosaur would come out and eat you, and you know, and you see him chewing you up, right? You'll see him chewing you up, and you'll see your guts falling out of his mouth. This is an amazing game. This is an amazing game, and it'd be nice to see something like this come back. The Eternal Champions, and it is in great condition. I'm so glad I have it in flawless condition. You know what I mean? And it's just an awesome game, guys. It's a good one to own. Might be a little pricey, but it's a great game. Is Eternal Champions, man. That's a good game there. Next one we have here, which was pretty good. A lot of people didn't like it, guys, but I liked it. This is called Ground Zero Texas. This is called Ground Zero Texas, man. This is another, and it's made by, believe it or not, Sony ImagineSoft. They had something to do with this, with digital pictures. Now, and I'm going to tell you what, this is one of the best looking digitized games that were on a Sega CD, to be honest with you. You look at the back there, you can see it was aliens that came down from that came down to kind of destroy the humans. It's a pretty decent game. This game is also up in price, but this is Ground Zero Texas, and it's another one of those games. Sega CD highly invested into those games because they believed that was the future for gaming, was with the live characters and actors in these games. Believe it or not, some of them, yes, some of them were bad. Some of them weren't bad, though. All right, it is a 2-disc, very clean, very, very clean. Look at that, very, very clean right there. So that is Ground Zero Texas, guys, for your Sega CD. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. What do we got next? What do we got next here? What do we got next? All right, we're starting to get down to the nitty gritty here. This is another great game that I picked up for a whopping $3 at a flea market. This is a great game called, now this is actually pretty cool. This is actually pretty cool because this is an anime. This is an anime. This is actually an anime stop motion game here, made by Renaton Productions. I can't say it correctly there. It's called Revenge of the Ninja. Revenge of the Ninja was I played this over and over and over again because it was amazing back then that you could play a cartoon. It was amazing to play an anime. So that's called Revenge of the Ninja. And I played it over and over and over again. It stopped quick time like you play in PlayStation games. It was quick point click or stop time, whatever. But this is a great game on the Sega CD. And yes, unfortunately it had a little thing broken there. That's why I got it for a whopping few dollars. But this game is expensive right now. I think just the disc is. But it is awesome. And if you see on the back there, you can see the graphics of the animations that are on the back of there. These were good games back then, and they were expensive. But this is Revenge of the Ninja, which was pretty decent. Like it doesn't have, like I said, it's busted in here. And whoever he bought it off of, he paid $10 for it. You see the little $10 sticker in there. I only pay like $3. And it has Road Revenge in here. Now, I don't have Road Revenge, but it has a nice artwork of Road Revenge in here that I believe also came out for the Sega CD. All right, guys, let's get going. Let me watch putting this on before I break the other one. But yeah, that is Revenge of the Ninja. Now that's actually pretty decent. Better hope I don't break this. Yeah, watch putting these bad boys back on. Here we go. This one right here is actually a game I got recently. I think I only paid $5 for it. MGM Studios had something to do with this. By Sega, True Video Productions again. It's called Wirehead. It's called Wirehead, and it's a very weird, like action pack, like live video, like movie. It says includes over 80 minutes of seamless live video with features and all different things in here. Now, I did touch on this a little bit. Like I said, when you see it on the Sega CD on your TV, it's a little grainy because that's the way these games were. But this game is expensive, though. I looked this up. It's over $100. I didn't pay that at all for this. I did a trade and got it for, I think, about $10, when I went to Half Price Books because that's where they had it. But it's called Wirehead. And if you look at the front of it, it has like a pretty decent artwork on there on the front. There is actors and actresses in here. And one of them looks familiar. I just can't put my name on the name of him on here. But this is the back of it. If you look at this dude right here, he looks familiar. He looks very familiar, but I can't remember his name. But it's by MGM. MGM Studios had something to do with this. But this is actually, it's a pretty decent game. It's a little cheesy, but it's a pretty decent game for your Sega CD, man. Next one I got here is called Microcross, if I said it right. Microism? I think it's Microism. This game was talked about a lot. I did play this. This is actually pretty cool. You're actually in a ship and you're going through like, I think, somebody's body. You have to go in their body and find like the sicknesses, and you have to destroy them. This was very creative, in my opinion. It is by I believe Sega, but I think it's called Microism. I might be butchering it, but this is it right here for the Sega CD, and I did play this, and this is actually a pretty neat game. Microism. I think it's. I tried it. It was pretty cool. It was pretty back in its time. It was pretty. Like ahead of its time, I believe. I believe this came out in 1993. Rick Wakeman, Microism will take you to the edge of your imagination. So yeah, I mean, it was very different. Back then it was very. They did a very good job with the way they did it. Like them trying to like using their. Using their imagination with this game. It's pretty awesome. The cover of it on here is purple and blue. The way the discs look. But I did play this, and it was actually pretty decent. Now I didn't beat it, but I played it for a while because I found it very interesting. But that is another one complete from Sega CD. Now this game was great. This game was great on Sega CD. The music, the sound effects, the backgrounds. There were 2D, 3D rhythms sometimes, like 3D background of 2D. Great game. The Terminator. The Terminator on Sega CD is a little bit more expensive right now these days. This is in complete condition. The Terminator was a great game on Sega CD. You got to see parts of the movie in this when you played it. This is an awesome game to own, guys, on your Sega CD. Great graphics, great color, great sound. This is by Virgin Games. Also, the Terminator, man. This is awesome. This beats the cartridge hands down. You might not be able to see the graphics of the game that well on my camera, but that gives you an idea of what it looks like. This was a great game on Sega CD with the sponge in it and everything. And I also have it here on the Game Gear. They advertised the Game Gear right there. So, yeah, that is the Terminator, guys, for Sega CD. Believe it or not, guys, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, man. Now, this is the game I was telling you guys about a while ago. It's made by Digital Pictures. This actually made it to court. They actually made it to court and said that the girls were getting raped in there, or I don't know. They were trying to destroy this game. This has the late Dana Plato on it that played in Different Strokes. God bless her. May she rest in peace, Dana Plato from Different Strokes. She unfortunately passed away from being on that stuff, and it's a shame that she's gone. Dana Plato. It was a shame that she had passed away, man. But she was in this game, and it is you guessed it. It is Night Trap, and this is the cardboard version. And Dana Plato's right on the front of the game, but this is the cardboard version, guys, of Night Trap. Now this got a lot of controversy. This is by Digital Pictures, also again. This got a lot of controversy because in the game, I think one of the girls were in the bathroom, she was brushing her hair or something. And they came in with these cattle prod looking things, right? And they were like going around her neck with it. And I guess you couldn't really see her chest part, but she had on a nightgown and everything. And they had this cattle prod looking thing around her neck. And I think that's one of the things that started that off, where this actually made it in the news and said, oh, they're raping girls in there, or they're sexually harassing, different things like that. But in that case, that really wasn't it, I believe. But this is a tricky game because you have to be in the room at the right time to booby trap the guys before they get to the girls, because there's booby traps all through the whole house. If you're there at the right time before they get to the person that they're going to either kill or whatever do to them, if you hit that button at the right time, you can stop them from harming the girls or the guests that are in the house. So this was actually pretty cool concept that they made back then for Night Trap. Really cool inside, it's plain Jane, it has the book in there. It has the 2 discs. It actually came like this. This is when they really were going cheaper, guys. It has the book in there, has the other disc in there, and then you see a little advertisement in the back, and it has Digital Pictures, a little pop-up right there. They should have just made all their games like this. It would have been good if they should have just made all their games like that. That is Night Trap, guys, for the Sega CD. This is a great fighting game. And when I picked this up, I got this for $5, guys. Fight or Die. Now, I didn't know if this was going to be that great because I thought it was going to turn into like a RPG. But this is actually a really good fighting game. And I've seen this for over $100 if you want it complete. It's called Revenge. It's called Reverse of Vengeance or something like that. Revenge of Vengeance or something like that. Revenge of It's Sweet. They are. Fight or Die. Freak. It's like some weird, not really weird, but some cool, I guess, Japanese type like fighting game. It's actually pretty awesome. If you look at the back of this, it looks like Dragon Ball Z took some ideas from this, but this is it right here. This game is expensive right now. At the time, I got it for a few dollars. I didn't know if it was going to turn into an RPG. I wanted to get it because it was on Sega CD, but this is a really good goddamn fighting game. Have you guys ever heard of this? Or look it up. This is a pretty goddamn good fighting game, guys. This is pretty decent. I love this game. You know what I mean? And if you look on the back of it, you'll see this little guy down here. If you look closely, now this is older than Dragon Ball Z. That looks like a character, doesn't it, from Dragon Ball Z? Kind of looks like a character kind of from Dragon Ball Z if you guys are into Dragon Ball Z, right? Because this game actually came out in 1994. I don't think Dragon Ball Z was Dragon Ball Z around in 1994. But yeah, it kind of looks like they took from that. You know, got a nice heavy book inside there. You know what I mean? Explaining the game, and then there's the game that's inside it. So yeah, this is a great fighting game. And shouts out to the 4 people that are still rocking out with your boy Sega Man. Doing this live stream of Sega CD and Sega CD games. Another great game here that I played a lot that's complete in its box is a good shoot 'em up called Split Heed. Split Heed was a great shoot 'em up game for your Sega CD, guys. Awesome game. 3D graphics, really awesome, guys. It would be nice if they would bring us back. Split Heed. They did make an awesome version of this on the PlayStation 2. I own that one also, but this is where it started from. This is a great game by Game Arts, and it is called Split Heed, guys, for your Sega CD. Yes, it has a little sponge And I still love playing this game today when I hook it up, man. What's up, Toolman? Toolman's still in the house. Unlimited still in the house, I believe. So another one by True Video Productions is Dracula Unleashed. This was another sought-after game. It's that stop animation and like active actors in it. That is Dracula Unleashed for the Sega CD in flawless condition. This is a bad boy that also came with a believe, yeah, 2 disc. Came with 2 disc. Dracula Unleashed. I played a little bit of it, guys. It's like a mystery thriller type, kind of like the Sherlock Holmes that was on Sega CD, but that is Dracula Unleashed, guys, for Sega CD. All right, guys, we're getting there. A few more left. Let's get them out. Another one here by Dynamics, if I said it right. This one here is another great game. This is called Rise of the Dragon. That is Rise of the Dragon for Sega CD. Have you guys ever heard of Rise of the Dragon? Now, I believe this game might be up in price now. I'm not too sure. But that is Rise of the Dragon. It is a little bit beat up. It is broken a little bit, but I got it for a whopping $5, I believe, at my exchange. It is broken, the handle, but this was another game that was on the Sega CD that people talked about called Rise of the Dragon. So that's another one that I have. A lot of my games are not... Wow, that actually came out. Can't believe that came out. Let me fix that real quick. A lot of the games I have are not that way. I got lucky when I would go and get some of these games that some of these games were... they were not that way, you know? Yeah, whoever owned this, I guess, I don't know if he... I don't know what he was trying to do. Like, it looked like he took the cardboard part out and ripped it out and, you know, and made it and put it in one of these, you know, because maybe the cardboard he had was in too bad of condition. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that's what he did. You know, did I do this right? Let me see. I'm thinking that's what he did, the guy who ever owned this game. But, yeah, like I said, back then, guys, a lot of people, they didn't take care of these, you know, or they dropped, or I don't know. You know, I take care of my stuff, so, you know. But yeah, that's Rise of the Dragon for the Sega CD. Another great game that came out for all consoles that they redid again. This game actually used to cost $1 to play in the arcades. Great game called Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair for the Sega CD. Now, whoever owned this, I don't know why, for the life of me, why they would put a P on the front of the... I don't know if because they owned it and wanted people to know they owned the game. But I can't get it off, because if I was trying to get it off, it would ruin the artwork cover. He ruined it by putting a P on there like an idiot. You know what I mean? I can't believe he did that, but whatever. There might be a way I can get it off where I can't ruin it, but I'm not going to try right now. But I've had this game for a long time, Dragon's Lair. I played on my Xbox, but this is actually for the Sega CD, and it came out first on Sega CD before any other console, I believe. And you can play it in your house and not have to pay $1 every time. This was a great stop animation, also animation type game, which was pretty awesome. You know what I mean? And it was really cool to see this back then when you were younger in the arcades, man. It blew your mind, because you're like, wow, I'm actually playing a cartoon, you know, back in the day. But that is Dragon's Lair, guys. Another one we have here by Sega's True Productions, which has, unfortunately, another guy that surmised from drugs, which is Corey Haim. This is called Double Switch. Corey Haim passed away some years ago from drug overdose or abusing drugs. He was with Corey Feldman in the Lost Boys and different things he did with Corey Feldman. They were actually good friends, and they had a series for a while when Corey Feldman was trying to get him off of drugs, trying to help him out, and it just didn't work, you know, but he tried his best to help his friend out. But this is Double Switch with Corey Haim in it. And as you can see, yes, it's a little cracked up here, but it's another one of those motion type games that you play are kind of like a Night Trap. If you look on the back there, you can see Corey Haim. up there with the girl. That's him with the girl right there on the back of this. But this was another game that came out for the Sega CD. And like I said, the case is pretty cracked and stuff. I'm trying to require and find other cases if I can out in the wild to fix these. But for right now, I can't. So, but that is Double Switch, guys, for Sega CD. Here's another one, guys. Another great fighting game. Again, by Sega's True Video, which all you loved and grew up with. Can you guess what that fighting game is? Go Power Rangers. So there's the Power Rangers game on Sega CD with the big, awesome looking robot mechs that they fought when they would grow giant and big, and they fought those big, and those actually was pretty cool to watch back in those days. That was actually pretty cool to watch, man, because I watched it also. You know what I mean? But it is the Power Rangers game on Sega CD. Yes, in great condition. The only thing, like I said again, these people that own these games, they would put their names on the disc and stuff like that. Like, it didn't bother the game, but if you look in red, they would put their name on the disc. I don't know why they would do that. For future reference, guys, if you collect games like this, don't put your name on it. Don't put your name on the cover or anything, because once you do that, the value of the game goes down. Unfortunately, the value of this will go down a little bit because somebody put their freaking name on it. You know what I mean? But whatever, man. But that is Power Rangers for the Sega CD. A great game by JVC. It's actually in a cardboard box. I love playing this racing game. I played it for a long time on my Sega CD. I loved the graphics back then. This is called Jaguar. This is the Jaguar game on it, the CX 220. And in the box, I kept in flawless condition. I only paid $5 for this back in the day. But check that out. That's a really nice, cool cover for Sega CD. This Jaguar racing game. It's in a cardboard box. They should have made them all like this, man. But on the back, you'll see a description of the racing game on the back. Back then, this was really cool, really good graphics for the 16-bit era. This was a great racing game that I loved playing. And sometimes if I plug in my Sega CD, I'll go back to playing it again. It's a really cool, awesome racing game, man. It's an awesome racing game, and they did a pretty decent job with this game. And that is made by JVC Musical Industries had something to do with this, and so did Sega. So, yeah, nice game to have on this Sega CD. Now, this game here, you guys all know, and shout out to the 3 people that are still watching. Your brother Sega Man with his live stream of his Sega CD games, man. Bigger, better, louder, meaner. Can you guess what game it is? Can you guys take a guess at what game this is? Bigger, better, louder, meaner. What game is it, guys? Can you guys take a guess? A quick guess at what game this is I'm getting ready to show you guys? Because it did awesome on the Sega CD. It actually was the better version of all the games. The Sega CD one was actually the better version, to be honest with you, with the sound effects, with the music, and the graphics, because it reminds you exactly when you played this game in the arcade, the way they hit and everything. Well, that's right, guys. It is Mortal Kombat Sega CD. Mortal Kombat Sega CD was the best game that came the closest to the arcade original. It's because this was a huge hit back then. And I know you lost a lot of quarters playing this game. So when this game came out, there was still a lot of people playing in the arcade. But I got my copy for Sega CD, and I played it for free. So this is Mortal Kombat on Sega CD. This is a great port of the original Mortal Kombat game. It comes the closest. Nintendo could not touch it at all. The Sega Genesis, the one on the Genesis was good because if you wanted the blood, they bought the Genesis one out. She actually outsold the Nintendo one, hands down, because it got the blood in it. You got more closer to the original Mortal Kombat, but this one took the cake. It took the cake, man. They did a fantastic job with this. Midway and Arena did a fantastic job with Mortal Kombat CD, man. Fantastic job. Nice little sponge in there, Rage in the Cage over there. You know, did a fantastic job, man, with Mortal Kombat CD. What do we got here? Who we got in here, man? What do we got in here? You bought a Sega CD in 1993, my guy? That's awesome, man. I've had it. I've had it when it first came out, man. I had it when it first came out, brother. I got it. It was expensive. It was expensive. It was expensive. It came in a nice cardboard box, but I saved up for it. It was expensive to get that Sega CD, but I got it. You know what I mean? Now, these are the last few games that I have, guys, and that's going to be it for the stream. And I want to thank everybody for staying and hanging in there with me to show these games, man. So these are the last bunch of Sega CDs. I had 37 games I showed you guys that were in the box. This might be the one that actually has the guy from Gilligan Island in it. Is this him? Yeah, this is it. I'm sorry, guys. It wasn't the other one. The guy that played Gilligan on Gilligan's Island, he's in this. He's in this game. All right. This game is called Lone Star. This is Lone Star for Sega CD. The guy that played Gilligan he's in this game. Now I found this for a whopping $4 or $3 at a flea market. The guy had it in with a bunch of books and old ass DVDs. I don't know if he just didn't know what it was or whatever. And I asked him. He said you can have it for like $3. And if you look on the back, I believe he's in here. It's him and the other dude that played in. It might be the guy that played with him in Gilligan's Island, but it's called Lone Star: The Legend of Charlie Bond. Got good CD quality, but this is the back of it here. And if you look, you'll see him right here. That's them right here. Where's that? That's him right here with the other dude. I think that's the dude that played with them, the skipper. I think that's him. But that's the dude from Gilligan's Island, man. And this game is, like I said, it's called Lone Star. And it's one of those stop motion ones, again, like, you know, it's in great condition. At least it wasn't broken. You know, it's in great condition, man. What's up, 100? What's going on with you, man? But yeah, it's in flawless condition, you know, besides this crack here. But I mean, as far as the disc, gameplay and everything, the disc is in great condition. But yeah, man, this is another one that I acquired. You know, a lot of these games right now are, even the ones that you don't like that, they're worth a lot of money right now. They're worth these games that I showed you guys. This is an investment. You know, if I was to sell this right now, along with the if I was to sell this right now with all this stuff that I showed everybody earlier, if I was to sell this right now, get off of there, with the Model 2 Sega CD right here, and the Model 2 Sega Genesis and the 32X up here, sell this complete, right? With all these games, I'm going to get at least $400 or $500. I might even get more. It depends. Like I said, it depends on the games. I know I'm going to get some good money for that. You know? Now, the next one we got here is called, I showed you the advertising of it earlier. It's a really good action-packed movie. Well, yeah, in a way, movie and game, because that's what these are. This is Midnight Rangers. This is Midnight Rangers, for the Sega CD. It's Sega True Video again. Comes with the game inside there. Advertised Top Cat Alley in there. You know, 100 and a lot of these guys know these were great. These were good games. What'd you say? Get to work, Sega man. These were great games. That was my brother 100. But these were great games, man. These were, you know, awesome games back in the day, man. I could spend hours and hours playing these games. But they were kind of cheesy, but even the acting in here was kind of cheesy, but you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it for what Sega was trying to do back then. They were always ahead of their time, just like Microsoft. Microsoft's ahead of their time. Sega was ahead of their time. That's why I always affiliate and identify Sega with Xbox. Their first OG Xbox is actually the Dreamcast 2. That's what it is. It's made by Microsoft and it's called Xbox, but that is Dreamcast 2. The first Xbox is actually the Dreamcast 2. And a lot of people will agree with me on it because it is. It's the Dreamcast 2, but in a Microsoft morph form called the Xbox. That's what it was. You know, but that is Midnight Rangers. Now we're down to 3 more. Another great game, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park on Sega CD. Another pretty decent game on here, man. You know, Jurassic Park was really big back then. Very big back in the 90s and different things like that. Now, both sides is broken right here. I think I only paid like a few dollars for it at my exchange. There's the disc in there and stuff. But you got to remember, the reason why I got these cheaper is because they were broken. Because the cases were broken. And I said, someday I'll find replacement cases for them. But I'm going to scoop them up. Anything they had, I scooped up. Because you could still sell this. You can still sell this as long as it has the artwork and stuff like that. You can get some money for these. It doesn't matter. You can get some money for them, even though they're broke. They're going to put them up sky high, some of these, for you to buy, even with them broke. Because I've seen them in the shops like that. And they still put a big price on it. Got my brother Graphic God in here. What's up, man? Graphic God in the building. Look at Graphic God. My biggest regret is not getting a Saturn. Man, brother. You got it. If you can one of these days, man, if you can acquire one, brother, you know, get one, man. If you can, brother Graphic God. They're great. I have two of them, man. I actually have Model 1 and Model 2 of the Sega Saturn. I might be doing a live stream on that next time. We'll see. It's either going to be that, maybe the Turbo Graphics 3DO. So you guys are going to see more live stream videos like this from me in the coming weeks. You know, maybe not during Thanksgiving week. That's family. Family comes first. You know, but me and Graphic God, when he was doing my gamer pick, I got to tell you guys this story. Me and Graphic God chopped it up for a long time. We were talking about emulators, Sega Genesis emulators, all kind of stuff. Me and Graphic God put me down to some game. He did. He put me down to some game. I connect with Graphic God because he's a retro gamer. We connected like this. He's a retro gamer. We talked for over an hour. It was a long time because he was doing my gamer pick for me. I want you to do another one, Graphic God. But Graphic God, I didn't forget at all. Believe me, I didn't. I want to keep telling you that, and I'll get with you. I want another gamer pick, brother. I know you're online. When I see you online, I'll hit you up on there, and we'll talk, man. Because I do want to get one more gamer pick. I want to actually get my son one because he's a gamer. So I'm going to talk to my son and see if he wants to do one, and I'll get one for him too. But he does the best gamer pictures on here, man. Out here in the gaming streets is our brother Graphic God. So you need to check him out if you want anything like that. You know, even to get a gamer pick and get it on a shirt, get it on a coffee mug or a hat or whatever. Graphic God does great work, guys. I cannot say that any better. He does great work when it comes to doing gamer picks, man. And he's the guy to go to. So check him out, man, on YouTube, Instagram, and I think X, Twitter. You know, check the Graphic God out, man. If you need something, he'll hook you up. Me and him connected like that, talking about retro games. I love retro games. You know, right now, Graphic God, I'm playing the Ant Stream, brother, you know, on Xbox. Now, I know it's $30 a year, but the thing that's good about that is you can get it for life for $80. That's pretty cool. You can play Amiga games. You can play Super NES. I'm playing PlayStation 1 games on my Xbox. Go figure, right? PlayStation 1 games on my Xbox through that Ant Stream. It's definitely worth $30 a year. It is. It's because you get games every Tuesday from the Amiga, from the Sega Genesis, from the NES, SNK, arcade games. It's definitely worth the buck to invest in that. If you don't want to go and do emulators on your own, Raspberry Pis or anything like that, that's the best way for you to get into retro gaming where you can play all different genre of games is through the Ant Stream. Invest in it, guys. It's pretty damn good, I must say. But I'm going to read Graphic God's in everybody's chat here before I hang it up. So I'm going to just show you my last two games. The last one we have here are two sports games, guys. NHL 94, and the great game that everybody played back-to-back all the time and did fantastic things, NBA Jams on Sega CD. How about that? Boom, shakalaka. Boom, shakalaka. I think in some of these games, you can be what everybody's crying about. You can be Spider-Man, I think, in the game. You can be some of the Mortal Kombat players, and I think you can be Sub-Zero. Like there were codes and stuff where you can be even characters from other games in NBA Jam. NBA Jam was a fun game. It was an addictive game that everybody played back then, and the Sega CD did a fantastic job with NBA Jams, man. And I believe there's codes for this where you can play other characters in NBA jams. But that is it, guys. I just showed you 37 complete games. Ooh, that's heavy on the table there. I showed you 37 games, guys, of Sega CD games that I own. Now, I do have more. So I actually own more than 37, but they don't have original cases. I found them at flea markets. I found them at Goodwills in regular plastic jewel cases. I found them loose, but the discs were in different in decent condition. So altogether, I probably have maybe 50 or more. But a lot of them I found with no case, and I got them for dirt cheap, $1, 50 cents. There's this one called Bounce. It's this basketball game, and I think it's called Bounce. I found them for 75 cents, at a flea market. It didn't have no case or anything. Of course, I'm going to buy it, right? So I have more, but I didn't want to show this. I wanted to show you guys the artwork, the cover, and I wanted to show you the Model 2 and show you the Sega CD Model 2 and the Sega Genesis Model 2 with the 32X on it. Wanted to show you guys that. Let's look at that one more time, guys. I'm going to end it. I'm going to read the chat, and then I'm going to end it, man, because I do have to get ready for work soon. But that's the bad boy right there. That's the bad boy right there. To show one more time. There goes your 32X, your Sega CD, and your Model 2 Sega Genesis, man. Sega, man, bringing it back retro real hard, man. So, yeah, that is it. And I want to thank everybody for coming and rocking out with me, doing this little live stream of what my collection of Sega CD games, guys. I really appreciate all of you, man, a lot. I really do. You guys are great support. I see you guys here all the time, no matter if I do a podcast with my brothers or if I'm doing something like this. So, not the week of Thanksgiving, but I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another live stream with this. And you know what? Maybe I'll have a guest on. Maybe I'll ask Graphic God if he would like to come on with me and while I show some games, we talk about retro gaming. We'll see. We'll see if Graphic God might be able to do that. You know what I mean? And maybe we'll try to have a guest every other time that I do this, man, and talk about retro gaming, because retro gaming still has a stand here in the gaming that we play today, guys. Although I love playing Starfield, and it is one of my favorite games of all time, and I want it to be Game of the Year, which I know it won't. I still love my retro games, and I always go back to playing them. Believe it or not, I do. I have all kind of Sega Genesis systems. I have a Nomad. I have a Sega Genesis Model 3, and I could just hook it up. I can hook it up to my 4K TV. It's not going to look that great. It's on a 4K TV, okay? But for 16-bit, it's 16-bit goodness, man. That it's just putting that tape in and bringing back the nostalgia like you wouldn't believe. It's fantastic, man. It's fantastic to relive those days. It just really is. Yes, I love the Xbox Series X and the games, but I'm retro, brother. I'm an OG out here in these gaming streets, man. Like he bought and Graphic God and Others Inc. All of us, Unlimited, all of us, man. 100. That's where it all started, man. And look where we're at today. Look where we're at today, man. But I can't wait to do another one, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this live stream of Sega CD. Man, I'm going to do another one soon. Hopefully I'll have Graphic God come on with me or somebody. We'll see what happens. Before that, I'm going to read the chat. I'm going to read the chat here a little bit. We got 100 saying, Sega Man, go to work, Tool Man. He said, I love Mortal Kombat. I can't say your name, bro. I'm just going to say Guy. Oh, I bought my Sega CD in 1993. Cool, brother. That's cool. Glad you did, man. We had our brother Unlimited in here. Let me see what else we got in. Said in Racing MFU. Yes. So Guy knows what he's talking about. He had a Sega CD. He knows. Sorry, I need to go. See you. Your great collection. Thank you for joining, man. If you're listening to me, please come back and join us again, because I'm going to do this at least every other week or once a week, not during the holidays, but I'm going to do a live stream of showing this stuff, man. Graphic God said, my biggest regret was not getting a Saturn. I hear you, man. I hear you. I need to go. See you later. All right. Graphic God says they are hard to find. They are. Graphic God, even down here in PA, if you do, they're expensive. When I go into my exchange, I don't see them. If I do see it, it's expensive in a Sega Saturn. You are right about that. You are right about that, my brother. You are right. And then Grandpa says, yeah, okay. He says, it's all good, bro. I am busy, but yes, we will. Yeah, so we're talking about hooking up, and doing another gamer pick. Grandpa said NHL was my jam. Yeah, Graphic God knows, man. Where is the Sonic and Knuckles adapter? I don't know, man. Are you talking about the one for Sega Genesis? The Sonic and Knuckles game? I do have that. And, Graphic God's giving me shouts out. Toolman55 is great show, Sega Man. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate you guys coming in. And then Graphic God is shouting out Toolman. I want to thank everybody for coming in and joining me in this, man. I really appreciate you guys that appreciate retro gaming and like retro gaming. Peltrex, Toolman, Unlimited, all you guys, Graphic God, all you guys. Even my brother 100 came in here. And hey, I don't need a ton of an audience to watch this. As long as I have you guys in here reminiscing about the OG days about Xbox that Sega Man can show you, of Xbox, of Sega, of Nintendo, of TurboGrafx 16, Atari, ColecoVision, whatever I have. There's nothing wrong with reminiscing about the OG days, guys, and taking a look at where these games laid the foundation for where gaming is today. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But I'm going to get out of here, guys, because it is getting kind of late. I have to get ready for work. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, but I'm going to get going, guys. You guys take care, man, and thank you for all your support. Come back again, man, for another live stream of retro gaming with your brother, your boy, Sega Man. All right, guys? Peace out, man. Enjoy gaming, and I will see you guys again soon. Oh, and we might do a podcast this weekend, maybe Sunday. I'm going to be busy the weekend. Maybe Sunday. We'll see what happens. I'll let Unlimited and everybody know, even E-Rock. We'll see if we'll do one with E-Rock again. We're going to do a podcast probably on Sunday. If it's before that, I will let my brothers know. You guys take care. Enjoy the weekend. Keep gaming. Be a true gamer. Play games, not companies, all right? Peace, guys. I'll talk to you soon.